In this video, I'm going to show you how I was able to make over $300 trading Euro USD last week. So this right here was the trade that I took on Euro USD that gave me about 3% of my account. So I'm going to walk you guys through how I entered this trade. What was the criteria that I saw before I jumped into this trade? And at the end of the video, I'm also going to show you guys a potential setup I'm looking at for next week, or that's this new week going into Monday tomorrow. So just stick to the end of this video and you're gonna see that. So this is euro dollar on the 2-hour time frame. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame to get a higher time frame perspective of things. So right here, my sell bias for euro USD developed right from when I saw this huge sell-off to the downside, and this huge sell-off was caused by FOMC that was released, right? So FOMC drove price down here after sweeping liquidity at the top right here. This was actually a very, very clean, nice move. If you are somebody that trades SMC, you will have caught this move. Well, I didn't trade this move because I usually don't trade the news, especially when I'm not already in a position before the news, right? So after I saw that FOMC drove price down like this, I started looking out to sell. Why? Because fundamentally, your bias is to look for sales, because we have like fundamental data or real life economic data that influences price to the downside, that pushes price to the downside. So now all the hedge fund managers, the banks, the institutions are now going to be trading in that direction, right? Most of the big institutions and the big players in the forex market, they don't trade purely technical analysis. They trade fundamental analysis with sometimes also technicals, right? So they usually wait for these huge economic events after the data is released, then they place their trades and they trade alongside that bias, right? So when I saw that FOMC gave us this huge sell-off, I was looking to sell USD to target, lows down here, right? Now, after this very strong push to the downside, what I was waiting for was for price to give us a correction of this huge sell-off, and then I look for a continuation to the downside. That was exactly what I was looking for. So when I saw Euro USD come from seem like an equal bottom right here, or relative lows right here, and then started to buy, I was just very patient waiting for an area where I would look to enter my sales and continue the sales to the downside, right? So I was marking areas of liquidity that I was expecting price to come out, sweep or take out before it sells up. So this was the first area I marked, and then I also had this area marked out right here, right? Then what did market do? If you've watched some of my previous video, I've shared my trading system, very, very simple trading system or entry criteria or entry model, whatever you want to call it, that I use. So it's just sweep, shift, and then I look for my POI to enter from. Sweep meaning a liquidity sweep, shift meaning a break of market structure or shift or change in market character. Then I'm now ready to look for an entry on any POI. Now in this case, as you can see, we got a sweep of liquidity right here when price came and took out this week. Let's go to the 2 hours and see if it's clearer there. 1 hour. Okay, well, this is it on the 1 hour. Price came right here and took out this week. I also marked this out in case price was going to come all the way to this up to take out this week, but that didn't happen. So immediately price took out this week, we saw this huge sell-off that gave us a change of character right here. So I labeled it as shift, right? So when I saw that price took liquidity here and then gave us a change of character down here, I then started to look for potential areas to sell from, because this was already a confirmation for me that price will most likely continue to the downside to take out these lows, right? So all that I then did was to look for a POI that I was going to get my entry from, and that POI was just right here, this 1 hour order block. As you can see, it's a very, very clear and visible order block that whoever you are, whether a beginner or an experienced trader, you should not miss it, right? So I saw this order block on the 1 hour, and then I marked it out and set my sell limit right here. So what the market then did that made me more confident to look to enter this trade was that price started coming back up. It came all the way here and then engineered liquidity. So this right here is engineered liquidity. It didn't tap me in, it then started to sell off. So when I saw this, I knew that market will most likely come back, take out this liquidity right here, tap my point of interest, my order block, and then sell off. So in the build up to this trade, there was CPI data that was gonna come out. So when I saw that CPI data was gonna come out, I just held on to my sell limit. I didn't delete it. Usually I don't trade the news, but if I find an entry for the news, then I'll hold it through the news, right? So this move right here was before the CPI data was released. I had this trade triggered before the CPI data was released, and immediately the data was released, the CPI data just sent price to hell, man. It just drove price all the way to my TP, straight up to my TP. So that was how I caught this very beautiful 1 to 5.4 hour trade on Euro USD. So whenever you have your point of interest like this, one of the things that will make it more valid and add more confidence to your trade is when you have an area of liquidity or engineered liquidity right before your point of interest. So let me show you, like this week right here, this is liquidity, this is engineered liquidity. So when I saw this happen, I got more confident that this trade was going to play out. So all I did was to just chill out and then wait for it to get triggered. And then before the CPI, we had price come all the way up, and then it triggered my sell limit. Then CPI data came out and then drove price down. So this is a very classical example of when the technical analysis aligns perfectly with the fundamental analysis. So some of the times you will find out that fundamental analysis just plays out according to technicals, right? Or fundamental analysis kind of just perfects what the technical analysis is saying on the chart. So this is a very, very classical example of that. So I just had this very, very clean trade. It took literally just like 1 hour for this trade to play out, and then that was it. I made exactly about $275 on this trade. So that was it, guys. I hope you got value from this. I hope you got something from this. So of course my target was down here, but then I held on for a while because I figured that since we have a very strong data that pushes price this way, then we're likely going to continue down, right? So I just held on for a while, and then when price started to give this choppy movement, I just decided to close my trade. So I manually close around this point right here. So this was the whole trade idea and my entry and my rationale behind this trade that I took last week. I'm going to show you a screenshot so that you don't think I'm just blabbing. I'm going to show you a screenshot of the trade that I executed on my MT5, and I'm also going to show you the profit that I made on this trade, right? So guys, moving into this week, this is what I intend to do on Euro USD. Now, after this huge sell-off, we now saw price come back up with huge volume at this point right here. So it seems to me like the market is going to come back to at least take out some liquidities at the top right here before we potentially see it come down, right? Because we're already beginning to have a bullish order flow just right here. Just the move from here to here, it's already showing a bullish order flow because this was engineered liquidity again. Price came down, took out all the buyers, and then continued up, and it has changed character to the upside. So what I'm looking out to do is to get a buy entry at this point right here. If you see, you'll see that this looks like an engineered liquidity to me, and I've marked it out. So that's what is going to make this my order block right here valid. The order block is visible on, I think, 30 minutes. Yeah, 30 minutes, right? I'm not strictly an order block trader, but then once I see something that makes a valid point of interest, I'm gonna go for it, right? I'm not just gonna say it's another block, I don't trade other block. No, I won't do that. I'll just go for it straight up. So let me go to, I think, 4 hours, then see what's up. Now this is Euro USD on the 4-hour time frame, right? What would you notice? You will notice that after CPI gave us this huge sell-off, it swept these lows right here. So these lows have been taken, liquidity down here have been taken, and then price started to now push to the upside. Now, if I'm to ask you, where do you think is the next liquidity that is going to draw price? After this lows here have been taken, where do you think our next point of liquidity will be? It will be this highs right here, right? So we're most likely going to continue to take out liquidity at these highs here than we are to come back to these lows right here. So if you're trading the market, one of the very important things you need to know is liquidity. You need to understand that liquidity is what drives price. Liquidity is like what moves price around, right? So you need to know what the draw on liquidity is. You need to know where the next point the market is likely gonna go tap liquidity from is, right? So, and in this case, this sell-off took out this liquidity here at these lows. We got this consolidation and price broke out to the upside, started to push to the upside with huge volume. We got this wash down that cleared some of the buyers, and then it trapped the buyers, right? And then look at this huge 4-hour candle, this huge bullish 4-hour candle right here. Look at this very huge bullish 4-hour candle. So this huge bullish 4-hour candle just tells me one thing. It tells me that we have a lot of buyers in this market. We have a lot of buyers in this market. And of course, the next point of liquidity that I'm looking at is right here. To be fair, it's actually here, right? This week right here, to be honest and to be fair. We're likely going to see price take this week, but I'm putting my TP here because I feel we may push a bit higher, of course, because of all of this imbalance that is here, and you know, because of course we can move a bit higher. This is just going to be like 10 to 15 pips difference, right? So that is why I am looking to buy the market next week or this week when the market opens. Even though Monday is bank holidays, so I won't be trading on Monday, though I'll have my buy limit set right here. If it gets triggered, fine. If it doesn't, fine. So this is the higher time frame view. Let me go back to the 1 hour so you see what is going on. So now this could be like a potential area of demand that has driven price up, right? This right here, right? Now we've gotten a change of character to the upside. We'll call the change of character or break of structure to the upside right here. And then we have buy side liquidity that is likely gonna attract price, that price will want to take out before we potentially start seeing sellers back into the market, right? Then the next thing is for me to go to the lower time frame again and look for where I will get a potential entry. Now, in terms of where I'm going to get a potential entry, of course, it's going to be this 30-minute order block right here. Why? Because this is engineered liquidity that price will sweep. There's an imbalance right here, the price will fill, and then another block right here. So if this plays out just like how we see it in the textbooks, we're going to have a perfect entry right here. We're going to have a perfect entry right here. So this is how I intend to play this out. We're likely going to see price just start stalling, ranging, playing around because of the bank holidays on Monday, and probably Tuesday we now see a high volume back into the market. But then let's see how it goes, guys. Let's see how it goes. Now, the most important thing for me in this whole trading, in this whole trade idea is that I have my draw on liquidity at this upside right here, at the top right here. So whatever happens here, all I'm going to be looking out for is to buy the market to this top. I may not buy it exactly at this point. I may not get this entry, but then all I know is I'm looking to buy the market at this point. So until market comes to here, then I start looking for sell. Again, before I get, before this setup gets invalidated, I need to see price come all the way down and take out these lows. Then I feel, okay, well, I'm wrong on this. I should probably start looking for sell, right? Because if you were to look at it critically, you will see that this is a huge supply area, right? Because we have this very huge sell from here. So markets may likely start to respect this zone. But then my bias is where I should come and sweep or take the buy side liquidity here. All right. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you got value from this. If you did, don't forget to like the video, smash the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers, guys.